Welcome to this week's UTRGV-TV edition. I'm Ileana Quiroz, and UTRGV-TV starts now. And for this week's top story, this year SpaceX launched its largest rocket, the Falcon Heavy. The company's CEO Elon Musk discussed future plans for a rocket launching pad near the Boca Chica neighborhoods. Our reporter Ileana Moreno went out to bring you the story.
Thank you, Ileana. Although SpaceX's South Texas launch site has yet to launch an actual rocket, locals are already experiencing the troubles of living next to the launch pad.
Although progress has been slow at the South Texas SpaceX launch site, a small community located 1.5 miles from the SpaceX property called Boca Chica Village is already facing the troubles of living by the launching site.
In the beginning, they said when the small ones go off, we could be around our houses with hearing protection and stuff on. Since then, there's been no talk of small ones. It's been the Falcon 9 and bigger.
Members of the Boca Chica Village community state that they've been in the dark regarding plans about construction and what's to come after.
There's been several people on the internet that have said remarks about, well, we're just selfish people because, we don't want progress. It's not that we don't want progress. We want our home. We want to have our home like we've had it for 18 years.
After the successful launch of the Falcon Heavy, SpaceX held a press conference where CEO Elon Musk commented on the South Texas launch site, saying, quote, "We've got a lot of land with nobody around, and so if it blows up, it's cool," unquote, upsetting local residents.
Unbeknown to Mr. Musk, we are somebody.
Yes, we are.
SpaceX spokesperson James Gleason said in a recent interview that they're aiming to have their first launch as early as 2019. From Boca Chica, for UTRGV-TV, this is Ileana Moreno.
Members of UTRGV have the opportunity of attending sessions providing information on how to create a safe and supportive community for DACAmented and undocumented students. I went out to bring you the details.
Because was the reason why we needed to do this.
The Solidarity Walkout and Dream Center rally on the Edinburg campus were powerful demonstrations in which UTRGV students acted towards voicing their dissatisfaction with the rescindment of the DACA program. Today, DACA remains a divisive issue on Capitol Hill, and the uncertainty continues for the 900 Dreamers attending our university, bringing UTRGV to make an effort in creating a supportive campus community through the Dream Zone program.
It's a 3-session training. The first session is really talking about the history, how we have arrived to this point. Also, how we can begin right now, even at the front side of how we become a more inclusive institution. And the second session was actually hearing from some of our students and our alumni. And so we had students who came before the group to share their story.
The Associate Dean for Student Rights and Responsibility says that these Dream Zone sessions were developed in conjunction with the Office of the Dean of Students, reaching out to both undocumented and documented students after seeing the levels of anxiety due to the current political climate. He says the third session focuses on creating a network amongst faculty.
We're not immigration, we're not border patrol, we're not customs. We're officers, we're police officers, and we help and we serve anybody that needs our help.
So we always tell students, your privacy is very important to us. Registration happens without regard to citizenship status.
It's really putting names and faces with sometimes what are, you hear about the registrar, but today we met the registrar. We hear about campus PD, but we're wondering about what PD. So I wanted PD here to talk directly to folks and answer the questions you heard.
Faculty will have the opportunity of attending the third session for the Dream Zone program at the Brownsville campus on March 20th. And after having at least 100 attendees, Stoves hopes the rest of the UTRGV community will be interested and inspired to be a Dream Zone advocate. In Edinburg, for UTRGV-TV, I'm Ileana Quiroz. As hurricane season approaches for the month of June, the McAllen Salvation Army hosted a 2-day emergency disaster volunteer training open to the public. Our reporter Neida Alcantar went out to bring you the story.
When disaster strikes, will you stand and volunteer to help others? That's exactly what the McAllen Salvation Army asked the public when looking for new volunteers. The 2-day training was held this past Friday and Saturday, focusing on 2 main areas for certification. The first day was to learn how to properly prepare, handle, and serve food on mobile feeding units known as canteens. The second day focused on learning how a canteen operates. By going to this training to get 2 certificates, volunteers can now respond to locally, regionally, and even to national level disasters.
We want to make sure that all our volunteers and our staff are well acquainted with food safety, because we don't want to make anybody sick out on a disaster or in one of our locations.
Noticing there weren't enough volunteers helping out when Hurricane Harvey hit, Megas went out to recruit more volunteers who were willing to help manage the canteens. Megas says the Salvation Army is still responding to victims from Hurricane Harvey, either rebuilding their homes or providing with anything they need, such as food or a bed.
I see a lot of this on TV when I would see it, and like, how did those people get there? So how did they volunteer? And that's why I want to do my part to help out in the community.
Captain Stephen Correira, the Hidalgo County Salvation Army commanding officer, says what makes the Salvation Army powerful are not the employees, not the staff, but the volunteers themselves. The emergency disaster team will be training volunteers in 10 other locations around Texas, where they will also be training volunteers how to comfort victims emotionally. Reporting from McAllen for UTRGV-TV, I am Neida Alcantar.
Several organizations gathered at the Student Union to promote and raise awareness on having a safe spring break. Our reporter Aisha Palma brings us the details.
The university's counseling center and health services hosted a Healthy Habits Mini Fair and Prescription Drug Abuse Prevention Forum to inform students how to stay safe this spring break. Programs such as the UTRGV Victim Services, Palmer Drug Abuse, Tobacco Prevention and Control Coalition, and many more organizations were present, providing the services they offer in order for students to have knowledge and assist them in developing healthier skills. Tobacco Prevention Specialist Quincy Bonilla and TPC Coalition's mission is to promote a tobacco-free environment and offer resources on preventing and reducing the illegal and harmful use of tobacco products.
So for students that are interested in quitting tobacco use, we offer a cessation program called the Yes You Can. This is a program that offers free counseling sessions over the phone and free nicotine patches or gum if the student decides to take that.
Students were asked to participate and make a pledge to safety this spring break. Many fatalities occurred during the week-long vacation, and students like Laura de Leon believe events like this benefit university students.
You know, every spring break there's always people who go missing or people who die because they don't practice these safety instructions, I guess. And it's sad that happens. So I think it's very important for the university to have an event like this, because it really helps get that information out there for people who don't know.
This event included an interactive game session to engage students in spring break safety protocols, and students were able to ask questions they had and receive answers from professionals.
And what we're trying to do is connect students with the services outside the community, and these services gear from mental health agencies and also the police department. So if these students want to go out and have any difficulties throughout spring break, they are able to connect with them in any way.
Spring break can be fun, but why not make it safe too? Reporting in Edinburg for UTRGV-TV, Aisha Palma.
The UTRGV Distinguished Speaker Series wrapped up its 14th season with Shark Tank star Damon John. Our reporter Alvaro Ayala attended the event for more on the story.
The UTRGV Distinguished Speaker Series wrapped up its season finale in Edinburg on Wednesday night with an entrepreneurship lecture from Damon John of Shark Tank.
This season has been an excitement. I mean, we had 3 great speakers, starting with Julian Castro, who kicked it off in September, and then followed by Ms. Diane Guerrero, and then ending with a great night tonight with Damon John. I think it's overall success, and I'm excited to see what we can bring for the 15th season.
Damon John made a stop at UTRGV as part of his Rise and Grind book tour. In his lecture, he spoke about growing up in New York and how hip-hop culture influenced him to become an entrepreneur.
He really related to the students. I think sharing his personal stories and just sharing like even some of his what didn't work so well, like the bufu, you know. It was really interesting that I think students can take from it that not everything in life is going to be easy and not everything in life is going to come naturally. That you have to work hard at it. So I think that message really hit with our students, and hopefully they take that and they continue making and doing great things for not only the Valley but for the state and even nationally.
In Edinburgh, for UTRGV-TV, this is Alvaro Ayala.
Firemen's Park in McAllen is providing the public with a contemporary exercise, paddleboarding. Our reporter, Renata Cruz, has more.
5Ks, football games, and CrossFit are amongst the exercise methods popular to the Valley. But Saturday afternoon in Firemen's Park guarantees you a new way of exercising. The new workout to the Valley provides the same benefits as any other exercise. The park's instructor tells us more.
So you can burn 800 calories in 30 minutes, that's 1,600 calories, and you need to burn at least 1,000 calories to burn off like 1 pound of fat. So pretty much like you can probably compare it to maybe like CrossFit or just a really like aerobic exercise at the gym, you know, really high intensity workout. If you like to get out of your comfort zone and try something new, it's definitely something you can try. You know, we're right here in like downtown McAllen, so there's a lot of traffic. You can walk by, you know, you can see everything else we have to offer.
The park offers other workout alternatives like kayaking and fishing, but the most popular activity is one that all the family can enjoy.
The 4-person paddle boat. Even that in itself is a workout because it is like close to 300 pounds, that boat that you're pushing on your own, depending if you have kids or not. But yeah, that's the thing that gets rent out the most because families usually come by.
Paddleboarding is popular in places like Hawaii and Florida, and now park visitors recognize Firemen's Park as one of the 2 places in the Valley where paddleboarding is available.
I think it's the only place where you can actually do it because I don't think you can do it in any other parks since there's no other man-made lakes in the UTRGV. As far as I know, at least from here to Mission, there's no man-made lakes like this one.
If you are looking for a way to have fun while exercising, come to Firemen's Park located on Colorado and Old 83. For UTRGV-TV, I am Renata Cruz.
The month of March is Women's History Month, and International Women's Day is held annually on March 8th. Our reporter Samantha Aleman went out to ask students about women that inspire them.
In commemoration of International Women's Day, I went around campus and asked students if they had a woman that inspired them or they admire.
So a woman I would look up to, or a woman that I see as a role model would probably be Ellen DeGeneres. She's a funny woman, brings happiness into people's lives.
Emma Watson inspired me since I was young to pursue my education and to focus in school and to be creative.
Well, like personally, para mí, my mom and my grandma, I feel like they're strong, faith women, and I always want to be like them and be more into God and like that relationship that they have. I want to be more like them. They inspire me every day.
My girlfriend, her name is Kenya. She's a first-generation engineer in her family. She's also a woman. She's really smart, bright. She's just amazing. She came to be part of the engineering program, breaking stereotypes. She's just breaking boundaries, and I know she inspires a lot of her cousins that are girls to try to become engineers, and she's just a great inspiration for the community.
Women's Day is a day that everybody can celebrate the greatest achievements that women have done throughout the years. For UTRGV-TV in Edinburgh, I'm Samantha Aleman.
Here's Daniel Galvan with this week's Sportscast.
How's it going, everybody? It's spring break. Welcome to this week's UTRGV Sportscast. My name is Daniel Galvan. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's just get down to it. You had both basketball teams traveling to Las Vegas this past week to compete in the WAC tournament. The women's team now, they played the number 2 seed CSU Bakersfield in the opening round, and UTRGV dumped out to a 2-point lead after the first quarter. But after that, Bakersfield really did take control of the ball game, ultimately winning 70-59. That did eliminate UTRGV from the tournament, and it was a well-rounded effort from our squad, though. UTRGV had 4 players in double digits. Megan Johnson and Quinn Huggins both had 14 points. Cynthia Sampson had 12, and Laura Van Tilburg ended her UTRGV career with 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Now, Van Tilburg, she's been a really remarkable player here in the Rio Grande Valley. She was a stud in high school, playing for Weslaco. Immediately after that, she contributed for UTRGV as a freshman, sophomore, junior, became a leader as a senior for this team, and just a phenomenal player to watch. And as far as the men's team, they also did lose in the opening round of the WAC tournament. They lost to Seattle U 77-60, and senior Nick Dixon, who's been a straight-up superstar for UTRGV the past couple of years, was great in this game, scoring 24 points with 11 of those coming from the free throw line. Now, on the season, Dixon was tremendous, averaging over 20 points a game, grabbing 4.5 rebounds per game, shooting 41.9% from the field, and he'll have an opportunity to continue his college career just a bit longer as UTRGV qualified for the College Basketball Invitational. That'll start like on Wednesday, and they're going to play New Orleans, so that's very exciting. And just to wrap things up, UTRGV baseball had a great week. They hosted the University of Maine here in Edinburg for a 4-game series, and in that series, UTRGV won 3 of the 4 games. And also, there was a big-time win for them in that series. On Saturday, UTRGV won 12-1. Wow. Now, the baseball team's record stands at 10-7, and they will look to continue non-conference play as conference play is almost on the horizon. But that's it for me. Reporting for UTRGV TV, I'm Daniel Gavan. Thank you, JP.
And for this week's Spotlight of the Month, we have Roberto Garza, the president of the BSN Health Fair for 2018, and Rachel TUNBERG, the treasurer for the Health Fair. And thank you guys so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having us.
And so, okay, so let's start first with your role in this health fair. Tell us more about that.
Absolutely. So I am the president, as you mentioned, and so the idea behind the health fair is really to provide these educative measures to members of the community that don't often have that opportunity, right? So for the health fair, we target those low-income communities, communities that are kind of out in a location where they can't get access to easy healthcare opportunities, right? So as our class, we break ourselves up into a variety of different groups, and that's how we organize the health fair. We have one group in charge of food, one group in charge of safety, one group in charge of decorations, right? And so we break ourselves up in all of these groups, and my role as president is to oversee these groups and ensure that everything's running smoothly, you know,
Yes, and as treasurer, I'm here for support. I support the president really in carrying out our vision for the health fair. So each year that we've done it, it's different. You have different people in charge, different ideas coming to the plate.
Right.
So ours is really just getting out to the community of La Sara, and I'm here to support Robert and support the class, and of course help bring all the resources out to the community that they're in desperate need of.
Okay, so you said that this health fair is going to be in La Sara.
La Sara, Texas.
Okay,
Yes.
and so what can you all provide through this health fair to that community? Can you tell us more about that?
Sure, absolutely. So our health fair, the biggest portion of the health fair centers around the clinic. And so in our clinic, we have a variety of health services that we provide, free of cost, of course, for members of the community and anyone who cares to join, right? So as part of the clinic, we're offering immunizations, we're offering health screenings for men and women, breast, testicular exams, full wellness exams, eye exams, ear exams. Really, we try to cover all parts of the body system, right? And so that is really the biggest part of the health fair. And as well, we've invited a variety of different agencies to attend. They're going to be setting up their booths, giving out pamphlets on all types of educational teaching regarding health. And so that's the main way that we hope to impact the community, not only short term, but hopefully they learn something for the long term as well, right?
So what have you all learned through these health fairs as future nurses?
Well, the health fair is part of our community class, which is part of the nursing curriculum. And as you know, usually people only think of nurses as in a hospital setting or on a hospital floor. But what we learn as students and eventual nurses, since we're about to graduate in May, is that the healthcare arena is just so much larger than people seem to think. So really, we're focusing on what can we give to the community, to the people that can't come to the hospital, or to the people that they don't speak English, they can't learn from somebody who's going to tell them about their diabetes. So really, we've learned that health is just such a broad term, and that I think it's really important to include the people that nobody really thinks of at first that need that help. So, I mean, we're really learning a lot about ourselves and a lot about the community that we're living in now.
Okay, and so tell us again where this is going to be and what days.
So it's in 2 weeks on a Saturday, March 24th, and our clinic will open from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and the overall fair will happen from 9 to 1. Okay. So it's going to be in La Sada, Texas, which is about a 45-50 minute drive from here, about 10 minutes from Raymondville. So it is quite a ways from here, but that's part of the selective process. We look at those communities that are kind of far out that really could use the most help, right?
The most need by this.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for sharing, and thank you for making that impact on the community, and that's what our Spotlight of the Month is all about.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. This is our Spotlight of the Month. Well, that's all we have for you today. But remember, if you have a story you would like for us to know about, or know someone in the UTRGV family that's making a big or small change here on campus or out there in the community, you can contact us through our social media or email us at utrgvtv@gmail.com. We have community and UTRGV news for you every week. See you next time.